Hey guys, it's Gina, and today I am here with my June wrap-up. It is the end of the month, and I can't believe it is already July, but that means that it is time for my monthly wrap-ups. Now, I've decided to go ahead and split up my monthly wrap-up from my monthly TBRs because I have been reading a lot of books lately, and these videos are just getting really long. So, in order to try to keep the videos at a reasonable length, I have split up my wrap-ups and my TBRs. So without further ado, I have 11 books to talk about, which is exciting beyond belief. I still am in shock of how many books I have read this year, let alone this month. It is just fantastic. So let's just jump right into it. The first two books I have to tell you I read for the TBR Takedown, so I will link that video in the description below so you can check that out for a little bit more thoughts on these. But the first one is Nightlight, the Twilight parody by the Harvard Lampoon. I wasn't a big fan of this one. I gave it a 1 out of 5 stars. It's just not my type of humor. I like the concept and I like the idea of having the parody novels. I just wish it was done better and with more taste. It's just not my type of humor at all. The second book that I read that I really did enjoy was The Face on the Milk Carton by Caroline B. Cooney. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it. It was just such a great book, and the movie is also really well, and I have not completed, or continued rather, I have not continued the series, which I really want to. I just don't know when exactly that's going to happen, but I did enjoy this book. The next book that I have to show you, I started during TBR Takedown, didn't finish it, but I did finish it quickly after that, and that is The Wide Window by Lemony Snicket. This is the third book in the Series of Unfortunate Events series, and I am loving this series so much. My goal was to complete the fourth one this month as well. That didn't happen, I just didn't pick it up, but I am really enjoying this series, and this book was no exception. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read, I listened to an audiobook, and that was Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse, which is, I believe, the third novel in the Percy Jackson series. I'm really enjoying that series. I have the fourth one available on Overdrive right now, so hopefully gonna read that one very soon. So hopefully I will be able to listen to the fourth one this week. I'm really enjoying it, and the fourth one is a little bit longer than the others, so it's going to take a little bit longer to listen to it, but I am really enjoying this series, and again, no idea why I haven't picked it up before, but I am loving every minute of it. The next book that I read, I also finished on audiobook, or actually I read the whole thing on audiobook, is Mindy Kaling's Is Everybody Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. I wasn't overly thrilled with it. It didn't really pull me in as some other memoirs that I have read, such as Amy Poehler's and Jim Gaffigan's, but that's mainly because I'm not that huge of a fan of Mindy Kaling. So had I been a bigger fan of Mindy Kaling, I probably would have enjoyed this more, but that being said, I did enjoy it, and I learned some new things about Mindy Kaling that I didn't know before, so that is why I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. And there was one book that I did DNF this month, and that was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I just wasn't feeling it. I DNF'd it at around page 124. It just wasn't for me. It felt like nothing was really happening, and it was just taking so long to get into the action that I just really wasn't feeling it, so I DNF'd it, and honestly I probably won't ever pick it back up. That being said, I do love her Court of Thorns and Roses series, and I will be picking those up when they come out, at least the second one, so I don't really know if it's necessarily her writing style or the story, because they are written kind of similarly, and I've been seeing everybody that likes Throne of Glass has also liked The Court of Thorns and Roses, so I think it's just the story and how it was evolving. I really don't know why I wasn't enjoying it. I kind of enjoyed it, but not enough to continue on with it. The last 5 books that I have are all books that I read for the Rainbow-thon, and I talked about them kind of in depth in my Rainbow-thon wrap-up, so I will link that in the description below, as well right here on the screen where all of the books are going to show up. So I'm just going to go through what books they are and what rating I gave them. The first one was my red book, Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. The second book was the green book, which is The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer, which I gave a 3.75 out of 5. The book that I am counting for my purple book was The I Love Thee Lost by Melissa De La Cruz, which I gave a 3 out of 5. I also listened to the audiobook of The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling, which I used for my Blue book, and I gave a 3.5 out of 5. And the last book that I read this month, which was just fantastic and I loved every moment of it, was Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I gave this a 5 out of 5 because there were just so many times that I was laughing out loud and just felt all the feels. I gave it a 5 out of 5 and it was just fantastic. I do have a book talk on this book. I will link that in the description below. So definitely go and check that out if you want complete in-depth thoughts of this book. And those are the books that I read this month. If you have read any of these books, let me know in the comments below what you thought of them. I'd love to hear what you thought. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you very soon with my July TBR. Bye!